specifically, there's a really interest to getting a good turnout and vote this November. And just recently at your voters bus here at the Values Voter Summit. So share with our listeners about the importance of this November election and what your Family Research Council is involved with in trying to get a good voter turnout.
Well, every election is important, and as Americans we have a right to vote, but I believe as Christians, and that's what we're communicating to the value voters, is that we have a responsibility to vote. And so what we're challenging voters is for the sake of America, when you look at America's future and what's happening in this nation, we need to pray, we need to vote, and we need to stand for those values.
Well, it's such a crucial election coming up in light of this summit here, talking about the urgency here. We can't afford to be complacent anymore. With the presidential election, there was a huge voter turnout, and that momentum needs to continue. I remember Dr. Lance Wallenau's presentation yesterday about the complacency of the church and avoiding those other areas of responsibility in leading the way in education, in the media, in government leadership, and so forth. So you're making a difference here with Family Research Council, trying to encourage people to cover those other areas.
It's critical, and we need to be involved in government. Someone is going to determine the path of our country, and why not be informed, engaged Christian voters, and that's our goal.
Mm-hmm. So what do you see this election playing out? I know what people would say the fake news sources are saying there's no way. It reminds me kind of like it was at the presidential election when they were saying there's no way the Republicans could have a majority or win, but yet that wasn't the case at all. So I think a lot of people, you included me, hopes that the fake news sources are wrong again.
Well, I made this reference earlier to the Values Voter Summit attendance. This is one of our highest years. It's not a presidential election year, which is unusual that we'd have this strong of a turnout, and the enthusiasm and the engagement has been off the charts. So historically, I mean, this is anecdotal, it's not scientific, but I can tell you that usually what we see at this gathering is a microcosm of what's happening in the conservative evangelical world. So I actually leave the Values Voter Summit very encouraged with what's ahead.
Okay, so this Values voter bus is going to be touring several states. Is it going to be touring all the states?
It's going to be going to 12 key states that it'll be going to. We've got actually two buses. We'll have one bus just in the state of California. California for conservatives usually is a lost cause, but in this election, California could decide the outcome of control of the House of Representatives.
So for more information about the voter bus tour, how people get to...
They can go to frc.org, or they can go to the Values Bus and find out where we'll be and when we'll be there and how they can link up with us.
Okay, we want to encourage people to pray as never before. It's not just enough for the presidential election, but to continue that momentum and the importance of responsibility for people in America to make a difference. And as you said, it's not the issue of a candidate per se. It's those values that our founding fathers stood for, and specifically the right of life and liberty and pursuit of happiness, and for those candidates that would support those values.
Absolutely. That's what it's about. We stand for the values. Whoever wants to stand with us, we invite them.
Well, once again, I'm Dr. Anthony Harper here with Tony Perkins of the Family Research Council, and this urgent time for America. Basically would say that the soul of America is in jeopardy, and we thank you for your help.
Thank you, Anthony.
Thank you.